Please be seated. Your Worships, distinguished guests, honorary fellows, award holders, staff of the university, ladies and gentlemen. As Pro-Chancellor and Chair of the University Board, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the University of Central Lancashire and to this awards ceremony. To those who have come long distances to be with us today, welcome to Lancashire and to the Guildhall here in Preston. Today we have award holders from the School of Computing, Engineering and Physical Sciences and the School of Built and Natural Environment, and we are gathered to honour and congratulate them on their success. On behalf of all of us here today, I want to say to each and every award holder, well done. Well done for all your hard work, and well done for successfully completing your course. You should be justly proud of your achievements, and the university and all of us here today are very proud of you. Although today is a special day for award holders, it is also an important day for two other groups of people. First, I want to offer congratulations to all the parents, spouses, relatives, partners and friends, and in some cases, the children of the award holders. In so many ways, you have supported the award holders over the years, and without you, they could not have succeeded. So today is your day as well. Thank you for the splendid support you have given to the students, and I think you will deserve a round of applause from the students. The second group I want to congratulate is the staff of the university. The professionalism, dedication, and commitment of all the staff are second to none. And it is right that on behalf of all of us, I thank the staff publicly for all their work with and for the students. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to call upon the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Dave Phoenix, to give his address.
Your Worships, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, graduands, I'm delighted to echo Brian Harris's warm welcome to you all here today. It is wonderful that so many of you have been able to join us, and I hope that you will enjoy the ceremony itself and the celebrations which I know will follow. Graduation Day marks a key milestone in your lives. It is a day to applaud your achievements and to look forward, but it is also a day for the reflection. Since you began your studies with us at UCLan, the country, like many around the world, has experienced unprecedented political and economic change. UCLan has not been immune to this change, but I am pleased to report that within this ever-changing higher education environment, the university has retained its position as a global force in higher education and has again featured as one of only 55 UK universities to be listed in the QS World Rankings. When you consider there are now upwards of 15,000 universities worldwide, and this number is growing, this is a fantastic achievement for the university and an excellent reflection on both the staff and the students. In the midst of these changes, we've remained firmly committed to the importance and application of both teaching and research, and believe that supporting students to reach their potential is at the heart of what we do. We have therefore been investing in a range of projects aimed at expanding student experience and, of course, enhancing student development and their CVs. This has included, for example, provision of additional opportunity for work placement experience or overseas study. These initiatives have been well received, and it's pleasing to note that last year, over 90% of UCLan's graduates entered employment or further study within 6 months of qualifying. This is a significant achievement in these times and a strong endorsement of the quality of our students and the work of the staff at the university. But today, we are here to celebrate the success and achievements of students graduating from the School of Computing, Engineering and Physical Sciences, as well as the School of Built and Natural Environment. And looking back over the last 12 months, both schools have certainly much to celebrate. The School of Computing, Engineering and Physical Sciences takes pride in providing its students with opportunities to apply their learning in real-world settings. 2 students graduating here today have carried out projects resulting in research publications on the astrophysics of galaxies and the nanophysics of hybrid materials. And I'm pleased to say that both students will now progress into postgraduate study. Many students have benefited from invaluable work experience opportunities in the engineering industry during their time at UCLan. For example, students have been involved in improving the onboard navigation systems of unmanned aerial vehicles used in power line surveys. Others have completed placement opportunities with some of the world's largest and most reputable companies, including Caterpillar, Airbus, GE Aviation, and Helical Technology, amongst others. Only last week, one student from the school represented UCLan at the Royal Society's Summer of Science exhibition in London, and 3 students from across the school's courses are currently working alongside NASA engineers in Alabama. Closer to home, students have benefited from EU-funded DigitMe project at Burnley. This project gives students the opportunity to work with local businesses to improve the overall efficiency of their manufacturing processes. And as part of a funded knowledge transfer partnership won by the university last year, a robotic and mechatronics student graduating today will shortly start a career with B Global, a company at the cutting edge in developing electronic metering technologies that will be appearing in your homes and throughout the UK industry in the future. The school recently won funding from the Research Councils UK for an idea generated by graduates of the school's undergraduate and postgraduate programmes to develop an innovative neutron spectrometer. 2 research students graduating here today have secured prestigious research positions at NASA, a spaceflight centre, and Exeter University, while others leaving us today have secured senior graduate posts in industry. These examples provide a mere snapshot of the achievements of students graduating from the school today and serve to demonstrate the global opportunities available to UCLan graduates within the school. With the appointment of outstanding new staff across engineering, computing, mathematics, physics and energy over the next 2 years, and also within the last 2 years, the announcement that the university will be investing $15 million in a new engineering centre, the students graduating today can be confident that the strong reputation of the school will continue to grow as they leave the university and pursue their careers. The School of Built and Natural Environment has also had numerous successes this year, and I'm pleased to be able to report that the school recently received news that the BSc Architecture degree had been approved by the Architects Registration Board. This degree programme received high praise from the Royal Institute of Chartered Architects and was commended for achieving high outcome standards comparable to the UK's most established architecture schools, an outstanding achievement for a new school. The visiting committee also praised the high quality of student experience at UCLan and the investment of the university in creating enviable facilities for the study of architecture. This September, the school will now see the first students enrolled on a new Master of Architecture programme. On the international front, the school's overseas programmes also received a significant boost this year. The BSc Quantity Surveying, BSc Building Surveying and BEng Building Services and Sustainable Engineering programmes at our partner institution in Hong Kong all received official accreditation by Hong Kong Council. Furthermore, the BSc Quantity Surveying and BSc Building Surveying programmes, which are delivered in the UK and Hong Kong, have received accreditation from the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. This is the first time the institution has accredited programmes outside the UK at a university that is not already aligned to a Royal Institutional partner. This is a significant achievement and speaks volumes about the quality of the courses delivered by the school, whether here in Preston or on the other side of the world in Hong Kong. In January this year, the school's Centre for Sustainable Development hosted the second International Conference on Socio-Political and Technological Dimensions of Climate Change. This event was very well attended with delegates, both practitioners and researchers from around the world. To reinforce the university's commitment to sustainable development and climate change and its impact on the environment, the school recently signed a new partnership with the University of Guyana. Guyana is home to one of the largest unspoilt rainforests in South America. The new agreement provides our students with a unique opportunity not only to conduct research in an unspoilt rainforest environment, but to also experience working side by side with their counterparts in Guyana through student exchange and joint research projects. Both universities have agreed to set up a joint centre for sustainability and innovation at the University of Guyana, Yet another example of how UCLan is committed to enhancing the international experience of our students and exposure to real-world applications of their studies in geography and environmental management. This was just a small sample of both schools' achievements. UCLan graduates around the world are valued for their reflective skills, their abilities to challenge and question accepted practices, their curiosity and ingenuity, and their ability not just to cope with change, but to lead it. You will have seen from the examples of success in the schools just how sought after they are. As Brian has mentioned, none of us would be here today without the dedication and support of UCLan staff, without the emotional, practical and financial support of families and friends, or without the hard work and commitment of you, our UCLan graduates. It is now time for you to celebrate your success, for each of you to recognise your own particular strengths, and for you to take control of your future as you leave the university and move forward into your future career. Whatever you choose to do next, and wherever in the world you find yourselves, you are all our ambassadors. I hope at some stage you will return to this, your university. But for now, I wish you all the best for your onward journey. And again, I give you my warmest congratulations on your graduation. Well done to you all. We're all very proud of your achievements. Thank you.
Chancellor, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Academic Board confers an honorary fellowship on Professor Sir Harry Croteau. Will Kaufman, the University Orator, will deliver the citation.
Chancellor, our honoree this morning occupies an eminent position in the history and development of the exciting and dynamic field of nanotechnology. We at UCLan have our own particular reasons to thank him, since he's been such an inspiration and supporter of the work carried out in our own Institute of Nanotechnology and Bioengineering, particularly in the area of carbon-based nanomaterials for the delivery of anti-cancer drugs. Sir Harry Croteau is currently Francis Epps Professor of Chemistry at Florida State University, but he has early roots here in the Northwest. As a child, his family moved from Cambridgeshire to Bolton, where Harry grew up. His parents had fled from Nazi Germany, as his father was Jewish. At Bolton School, Harry was known as the kid with the funny name. The family name was originally Crotoshiner, subsequently shortened to Croteau. So, fast forward to 1996, when the kid with the funny name won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry, along with his colleagues Richard Smalley and Robert Curl Jr. And they won it for their joint discovery of the fullerene carbon compounds. And by that time, Harry Croteau had already received a knighthood from the Queen for his services to chemistry. As a child, when Harry wasn't at school or helping out at his father's toy balloon factory, he was playing with his beloved Meccano set, and as he later recalled, it was a good proving ground for a budding scientist. He grew keenly interested in science, particularly chemistry, as well as art. And on the recommendation of his chemistry teacher, Harry went on to Sheffield University, where tennis, athletics, and art editorship on the student magazine still did not prevent him from earning a first-class degree in chemistry. A PhD soon followed, as did his marriage to Margaret Hunter. And after a period of postdoctoral research in Canada and the United States, Harry joined the chemistry faculty at the University of Sussex, where he became a full professor in 1985, and he subsequently became a Royal Society research professor there. He was working in the study of unstable molecules. He hooked up with a colleague, David Walton, an expert on polyenes. And for those of you who need a definition, polyenes are a group of organic compounds with alternating single and triple bonds. Sounds pretty unstable to me. Anyway, the two of them began a detailed study of carbon chains that soon led to a new radio astronomy program for they had discovered that these unstable molecular compounds, polyenes, existed elsewhere in interstellar space as well as in the gas ejected from carbon stars. So shortly afterwards, while visiting the laboratory of Richard Smalley at Rice University in Texas, Harry noticed that Smalley had developed an ingenious laser device for vaporizing cluster beams. Would it be possible, Harry wondered, for this device to simulate the carbon chemistry in the gas around carbon stars? Well, he and 3 graduate students carried out the experiment in 1985. This vaporization produced not only the expected carbon chains, but also something new, a molecule no one had ever seen before, an unexpectedly hollow, spherical molecule, the C60. 60 carbon atoms bonded together in the pattern of a modern soccer ball. 12 pentagons, 20 hexagons. Check it out yourself on Google Images if you don't believe me. Now, it was also the same shape and structure of the geodesic dome buildings designed by the American architect Buckminster Fuller. So, Harry called this new molecule the Buckminster Fullerene, or the buckyball. Now, there's a downside to the discovery of the buckyball because it got in the way of Harry's other dream, which is setting up an art and graphic design studio. He's won major prizes for designing book jackets, too. But the upside is that it's led to a Nobel Prize, a knighthood, more than 45 honorary degrees and professorships from institutions around the world, and he's returned 2 of them in disgust to the universities of Exeter and Hertfordshire. Why? In protest at the closing of their chemistry departments. So Chancellor, for all his work, for his passionate commitment to pure research and his highly principled stand in its defense, as well as his contribution to global education outreach through the Vega Science Trust and more recently, his GeoSet initiative, it is with great admiration and gratitude that I present to you on behalf of the Academic Board, Professor Sir Harry Kroto for the award of the University Honorary Fellowship, the University of Central Lancashire.
Chancellor, the presentation of graduands and award holders will now take place. The presentations will be in course groupings, and we would ask that you reserve your applause until the last in each group has been presented. The applause will be led from the platform by the Dean of School.
On behalf of the Academic Board, I present those who have gained awards in the School of Computing, Engineering and Physical Sciences. Master of Engineering with honours in Motorsports Engineering, Edmund Buller. Jack Hickman. Adam Jones. Andrew James Willenbrook. Master of Physics in Physics, Adelchi Asta. Thomas Greenslade. Master of Physics in Astrophysics, Andrew Walker. Andrew is also awarded the School Prize for Best Master of Physics Project. Master of Science in Agile Software Projects, Michael Peter Greenwood. Mark Haig. Robert Anthony James. Robert is also awarded the School Prize for Outstanding Project. Stephanie Jane Sims. Stephanie is also awarded the school prize for outstanding course performance. Philip Gino Sturp. Master of Science in Computing, Eric Joseph Phipps. Master of Science in Database Systems, Sibi Sylvester. Master of Science in Digital Signal and Image Processing, Hongning Liao. Yuxin Mao. Ho Yang Pei. Jishi Wang. Rui Yang. Master of Science in Information Technology Security, Bashir Hadi Imam. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Astronomy, Carol Bryan. Master of Science in Network Computing, Emmanuel Bupanda. Linda Ifoma Uruaka. Master of Science in Nuclear Safety, Security and Safeguards, John Craig Riley. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Computer-Aided Engineering, Neil Mark Fitzpatrick. Dominic Foss. Nina Halligan. Sanjay Ladd. Adam Minshall. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Computer Engineering, Benjamin Crook. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Electronic Design Automation, Yan Zhong. Yan is also awarded the school prize for Best Final Year Undergraduate Student in Electronic and Computer Engineering. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Electronic Engineering, Yilao Chen. Ibrahim Musa. Vikesh Rathod. Jacob Scully. Yanlai Wang. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Mechanical Engineering, Well Engineering, Essa Mohammed Hussein Ahmad Al-Rahumi. Ahmed Abdul Hamid Mohammed Al-Mawafi. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Mechanical Technology, Abdullah Syed Al-Balushi. Andrew Kaysen. Lee Austin Durant. Mark Robert Hipkin. Raymond McMullen. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Motorsports Engineering, Luke Chater. Adam Robin Williams. Ben Facer. Jamie Husband. James Imrie. Robert Nyquist. Alexander James Skelton. Matthew Woods. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Nuclear Plant Operations and Process, Chris Bernard John Fairclough. Jade Martine Leonard. Robin White. Bachelor of Engineering with honours in Robotics and Mechatronics, Callum Stephen Dunster. Panagiotis Ganafakis. Tazia ul Haq. Bachelor of Science with honours in Astrophysics, Philip Thomas Bradshaw. Philip is also awarded the school prize for Best Year 3 project. Bachelor of Science with honours in Combined Studies, Bradley Alsop. Nicola Ruth Brown. Jessica Hannah Martin. Bachelor of Science with honours in Computer Games Development, Stanislav Zelev Atanasov. Lee Barnes. Carl Catley. Adam James Chadwick. Jonathan Leslie Finn. Thomas Furlong. James Scott Goodborn. Thomas James Hankinson. Bradley Hester. Gavin Jones. Gavin is also awarded the school prize for Best Student on a British Computer Society accredited course. Carl Parkinson. James Stott. James is also awarded the school prize for Best Final Year Bachelor of Science undergraduate student in Computer Games Development. Christopher Ian Wainwright. Michael Woodhouse. Bachelor of Science with honours in Computer Network Technology, John Robert Ackers. Richard Bevitt. Joseph Butcher. Aaron Charles Catt. Thomas Chantler. Lee Collinson. Daniel James Cooper. Charles Doherty. Charles is also awarded the school prize for Best Final Year Bachelor of Science undergraduate student in Computer Network Technology. Krishan Gandhi. Matthew Gorst. Zach Holt. Richard Isherwood. Jacek Kazmarczyk. Benjamin Lee. William James Norman Martindale. Samuel Ogunsarkin. Dale Shepherd. George Yanaku. Bachelor of Science with honours in Computing, Daniel Kane. Matthew Campbell. Eric Alexander Genther. Andrew John Frederick Hill. Ronald Hoffer. Stephen Paul Hughes. Ali Kondwilka, Robert Kroos, Kun Ma, Daniel John McCarrick, Moritz Moser, Nimishi Patel, Marcus Rathkolb, Ryan William Robinson, Lisa Rogers, Michael Scott Sanderson. Michael is also awarded the school prize for Best Final Year Bachelor of Science undergraduate student in computing. Asa Watson, Bachelor of Science with Honours in Forensic Computing, James Bohey. Daniel John Bradbury, Daniel Brocklebank, Mark Andrew Brown, Sarah Jade Campbell, Rupert Cruikshank, Stephen Halliwell, Christopher Holmes, Curtis Houghton, Gary Huddart, Jonathan Hyde, Joash Lewis. Joash is also awarded the school prize for Best Final Year Bachelor of Science undergraduate student in Forensic Computing. Jason Nicolau, Imran Patel, Cherie Slater, Sarah Waggett, Emily Wetherill, Jennifer Winters, Jason Young, Bachelor of Science in Forensic Computing, Jamie Dowler, Ashley Paul Lambert, Bachelor of Science with Honours in Information Communication Technology, Victoria Louise Amanda Cook, Adam Roy Day, Lin Hao Lee, Domenica Manta, Nicolo Manta, Richard Sadler, Bachelor of Science with Honours in Information Systems, Faisal Salah H. Al-Nafisa, Rachel Bennett, Alexander Michael Birkbeck, Philip Hammersley, Sarah Jane Hodgson, Excellent Ohunbamu, Philip Richardson, Ian Paul Swinton, John Taylor, John is also awarded the school prize for Best Final Year Bachelor of Science undergraduate student in Information Systems. Bachelor of Science with honours in Mathematics, Heather Beck. Natalie Jade Butler. Sarah Calver. Rebecca May Crook. Alicia Dubrovska. Daniel Richard Dowling. Alistair Piers Duggan. Matthew Forsyth. Jodie Foy. Abigail Mary Rose Hartley. Bruce Lafferty. Martin James Langford. Tom James Lawrence. Thomas Alexander Minns. Rachel Jane Owens. Chris Parker. Errol Ramadan. Jake Statham. Victoria Sek Sing Wong. Chloe Taylor Reeve. Nicola Tolley. Naomi Tyson. Naomi is also awarded the school prize for Best Final Year Student in Mathematics and the Institute of Mathematics Prize. Jessica Witcher. Bachelor of Science with honours in Multimedia Development, Omar Abbas. Yao Cheng. Douglas Holloway. Sidra Jahangir. Tyrone Allen Leyland. Adam McLaughlin. Dean Anthony Moynihan. David Parada Kappa. Mark Roach. Jake Rutherford. James Edward Smith. Victoria Marie Smith. Jamie Anthony Stansfield. Robin Thompson. Mark Andrew Threlfall. Mark is also awarded the school prize for Best Final Year Bachelor of Science undergraduate student in Multimedia Development. Bachelor of Science with honours in Nuclear Decommissioning, David Chapman. Francis Johnston. Kirsty Amanda Kilpatrick. Stephen Derek Moore. Stephen is also awarded the school prize for Best Overall Performance in Nuclear Decommissioning and for Outstanding Project in Nuclear Decommissioning. Bachelor of Science with honours in Physics, Andrew Michael Bardsley. Gareth Garsinski Aylesbury. Gemma Louise Gibbons. Bachelor of Science with honours in Software Engineering, Matthew Joshua Evans. Matthew is also awarded the school prize for Best Final Year Bachelor of Science undergraduate student in software engineering. Thomas Nadin. Foundation degree in engineering in nuclear engineering, power generation, Tony James Curd. Foundation degree in science in computer-aided engineering, Craig Clayton. Paul Croston. Thomas Harry Dearden. Miles Florentine. Antoni Christopher Gronwald. Foundation degree in science in computer games development, Craig Rees Hutchinson. Foundation degree in science in computer technology, Daniel Burns. Brian James Eastham. David James Hayes. Foundation degree in science in computing, Emma Atkinson. Mark Chapman. Matthew Knock. Alan John Rosen. Simon Ward Rushton. Foundation degree in science in nuclear decommissioning, Caroline Sarah Flanagan. Stephen Long. Foundation degree in science in nuclear project management and program control, James Ashley Basnett. David Holmes. Liam David Moynes. Hannah Sim. Rachel Starkey. Sarah Eleanor Wallace. Foundation degree in science in nuclear-related technology, science and process, Olivia Helen Dawson. Jack Harold Denwood. Lorraine Mary Harvey. Matthew James Key. Jessica LeBorn. Amy Louise Stamper. Brendan Grant Wilkinson. Debbie Louise Wilson. BTEC Higher National Certificate in Engineering, Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Bikash Das. Daniel Lee Whitaker. BTEC Higher National Certificate in Engineering, Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering, Joanne Elizabeth Pollitt. For a thesis entitled Computational Modelling of Blood Flow through Sutured and Coupled Microvascular Anastomoses, the degree of Master of Science by Research is awarded to Richard Andrew James Wayne. For a thesis entitled Phenomena in the Solar Corona, Characteristic Structure and Dynamic Evolution, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to Caroline Alexander. For a thesis entitled Chemodynamical Properties of Simulated Late-Type Galaxies, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to Christopher Gareth Few. for a thesis entitled Chemodynamical Adaptive Mesh Refinement Simulations of Disk Galaxies, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to James Kelly. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of awards from the School of Computing, Engineering and Physical Sciences.
Okay. On behalf of the Academic Board, I present those who have gained awards in the School of Built and Natural Environment. Master of Science in Architectural Conservation, Richard Schofield. Catherine Louise Onsworth-Trail. Master of Science in Building Conservation and Regeneration, Stephen Paul Brecker. Bruce Johnson. Rebecca Mason. Rebecca Sutton. Master of Science in Building Services, Andrew Morris. Bachelor of Science in Construction Project Management, Robert William Patterson. Bachelor of Science in Project Management, Tamar Bejad Al-Kabi. Tonton Chen. Jufu. Iyad Sahib. Oshin. Shan Ong. Master of Science in Sustainable Waste Management, Israel Oluremi Droshaye. Bachelor of Arts with Honors in Geography, Jagdine Armstrong. Thomas Bainbridge. Jonathan Gibbons. Anthony Hodkinson. Francesca Jenner. Natalie Lawrence. Jessica Jane Noble. Alex Swanning. Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Engineering with Honors in Building Services and Sustainable Engineering, Darren Lee Lenksu. Richard James Blacko. Jamie Bodman. Lawrence Brown. Paul Kitchen. Kevin Lloyd Davidson. Derek Elliott. Michael Gannon. Mark William Gringer. Wayne Peter Leland. Kevin John Mattox. Robert William Atto Miller. Christopher James Tate. Christopher is also awarded Best Overall Student in Building Services and Sustainable Engineering Award by Rema Commercial. Okay. Nicola Charles Thomas. Nicola is also awarded the Best Dissertation in Building Services and Sustainable Engineering, awarded by Rema Commercial. Bachelor of Science with honors in Architectural Technology, girl Louise Barber. Sean Richard Beniston. Eba Chowdhury. Matthew Cross. Matthew is also awarded the UCLan Creative Architecture Award. Daniel Crossland. Barbara Deco. Ben Fierhost. Simon James Fosher. Paul Freeman. Paul is also awarded the Chartered Institute of Architectural Technologists Award for Outstanding Graduating Student. James Gilbert. Patricia Gurung. Patricia is also awarded the Croft Good Award for Most Improved Student. Mark Hughes. Naim Pator. Leon Scott Collin. Abbas Hul Erman. Zai Valley. Bachelor of Science with honors in Architecture, Thomas Benson. Laura Jane Bucket. Sorry. Benjamin Carr. Benjamin Craven. Steffi Louise Diola. Aaron Hel Amar. Callum Gilbert. Jacob Joe. Safwan Kapadia. Annie Capeto. Natalie Cavonin. Stephen Lane. Rebecca Lovell. Andre Orthodox. Ulea Sandu Lexos. Ab Shahid Nassim. William Swells. Rebecca Travis. Philip Graham Young. Bachelor of Science with honors in Building Surveying, Farasat Ali. Darren Stephen Brimlow. Noel Dawson. Eman Farrow. Paul Fay. Katie Folds. Alexander Fowler, Richard Paul Fox, Lila Green. Lila is also awarded the Chartered Institute of Building Prize of the Year. Michael Hogarth, Ryan Kerr, Stuart Kowalik, Christopher Anthony Letts, Joseph Matland, Joshua Stuart Pascal, Graham Michael Pryor, Nicola Spooner. Nicola is also awarded the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors Buildings Surveying Prize for highest average percentage mark. Adrian Townsend, Stephen Trumper, Bachelor of Science with Honors in Combined Studies, Paul John Barber, Rachel Sarah Daniels, Amy Killen, Rannon Ozel, Rebecca Sophie Wild. Rebecca is also awarded the school prize for best dissertation in environmental hazards, management, and geography. Bachelor of Science with Honors in Commercial Management and Quantity Surveying, Gregory Martin Anderton. Martin John Bond, Stephen Grant Chandler, Karen Chan-An. Karen is also awarded the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors Quantity Surveying Prize for the highest average percentage mark, and Marcus Warrington Quantity Surveying Prize for best dissertation. Mark John Dunn, Daniel Davidson, Phil Doughty, Richard James Alge, Rikesh Goel, Mark Griffiths, James William Greenshaw, Usaif Afeji, Michael Upwood, Melissa Claire Orox. Melissa is also awarded the Chartered Institute of Building Prize of the Year. Ryan English, Thomas William Ketor, Ghulam Mohammed Libanda, Simon Longden, David James Martin, James Patrick Powell, Robert Priestley, David Gisworth, Andrew Simpson, now David Smith, Ryan Taylor. Bachelor of Science with honors in Construction Project Management, Nicola Armstrong. Warren James Barlow. Christopher Bernard Bowles. Michael Elders. Ajibola Oladipo Fatokun. Emma Louise Fosher. Matthew Ford. Philip Hardin. Attila Lakatos. Attila is also awarded the Chartered Institute of Building Prize of the Year. Sakil Mulvey. Ryan O'Sullivan. Ryan is also awarded the Marcus Warrington Construction Project Prize for Best Dissertation. Jonathan Platt. Jonathan Reynolds. Ryan Ian Stewart. Andrew James Tonley. Bachelor of Science with honors in Environmental Hazard, Science, Policy, and Management, Logan Bridge. Kirsty McLaughlin. David Anthony Ogalam. Robson Smith. Bachelor of Science with honors in Environmental Management, Peter Hallan. Peter is also awarded the school prize for Best Student Overall Performance in Environmental Hazard, Management, and Geography. Victoria Ellen Collin. Pedro Gacko. Amanda Jane Jackson. Anna Marie Mack. Jamie Ben Pope. Bachelor of Science with honors in Facilities Management, Douglas Wilson. Douglas is also awarded the Chartered Institute of Building Prize of the Year. Bachelor of Science with honors in Geography, Karen Ann Aguilera. Sikanda Ayub. Nazia Box. Jennifer Garubier. Luke Clark. Ollie Jackson. Richard Jones. Josh Latham. Ian Lawson. Sophie Lawrence Lent. Catherine Mongo. Rachel Murphy. James Pearson. Alexandra Rockcliffe. Sophie Townsend, German Warren, Foundation degree in Science in Building Services and Sustainable Engineering, Peter James Blackburn, Ella Cooper, Stephen Craven, Catherine Duggan, Aaron Driver, Simon Fish, Michael Graham, Sean Francis Elm, Jonathan Williams. Foundation degree in Science in Construction, Donna Marie Parfit. Sean David Study. BTech Higher National Certificate in Construction, Roy Luther. Stephen Philip Tombon. Okay. For a thesis entitled Nuclear Energy and Low Carbon Transition, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to Jonathan Carlos Cooper. For a thesis entitled The Uptake and Implementation of Sustainable Construction, Transforming Policy into Practice, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to Sachi Fansudara Gunatilik. For a thesis entitled Short Rotational Forestry and Earthworm Diversity, Impacts and Responses, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to Nalika Swamale S. Rajapaskar Mode Yanselage. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of awards from the School of Built and Natural Environment.
Chancellor, the presentations are completed. I now call on Professor Sir Harry Croteau, Honorary Fellow of the University of Central Lancashire, to respond on behalf of those awarded today.
Well, as Henry VIII said to his wives, I shan't keep you very long. Honours, which I have and which you have now, they're quite interesting. One day I went downstairs and opened up an envelope, and it said, the Prime Minister has it in mind to advise the Queen to offer you a knighthood. So I thought, which of my friends is pulling a fast one on me? And then there were two little boxes says, tick yes or no. Then along came an email which said, there's no downside to a K, which is in parlance for a knighthood. And then I discovered that's correct. Those who don't know you, they're impressed. Your friends, they are very happy with you. And your enemies are really pissed off. So there you go. But in fact, it's a great day for all of you. And it's wonderful to be here and to speak to you on things that I think concern me, because I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. I'm here to make you think. And hopefully you will do. The first issue, I'm a scientist, and science is misunderstood. It's not just the knowledge that you learn at school or at university. It's not just the application of that knowledge, technology. It's not even just the method by which new knowledge and the way the universe works is actually found out, that scientific method. It's much deeper and much more important than that. Before it became useful, it had another name. And that other name was natural philosophy. And natural philosophy is the only philosophical construct we have as human beings developed to understand and determine what is true with any degree of reliability. And thus, natural philosophy and its part of it, this science, is an ethical issue which I think all should actually understand. We should teach all our children how they can decide what they're being told is actually true. And if it doesn't have evidence, then it's not true. It's just the way it is, the way people would like it to be. And sometimes the way some people would like it to be is not that useful for the human race. I want you to think about that. For instance, common sense tells us that the sun goes around the earth. How many of you agree with me? The sun goes around the earth. Almost nobody. How very strange. It was over here early in the morning, and it's over here. The sun is obviously going around us. That's very interesting, because actually, 500 years ago, Galileo was threatened by the Inquisition, and Giordano Bruno was actually burned to death for believing that the earth goes around the sun. And how many of you think that the earth goes around the sun? Most of you. Now, I want to point out something. You've accepted that, and how many of you know the evidence? Because it's quite clear the sun goes around us. How many of you know the evidence that the earth goes around the sun? Or that the earth is turning on its axis, which makes it seem as though the sun is going around us? Put your hand up. Nobody. Look round here and realize that you've all accepted something without knowing the evidence. And I want you to think about that, because large numbers of people believe a lot of things that are not true without evidence. So you've accepted something that you would have been burnt to death for 500 years ago, if it were not for brave people like Copernicus, Galileo, and Giordano Bruno, who was burnt to death. That's one of the most important issues that I want you to think about very carefully. Favorite statement of mine is by Don Marquis. Don Marquis said, if you make people think they're thinking, they love you. But if you really make them think, they hate you. Maybe some of you will not be happy. However, the Nobel Prize gives me the opportunity to speak to you on things that really concern me. Now, science is interesting, and it's about questions and making sure you ask the right questions. And there was a guy walking down the street in Glasgow, and he saw a man on the other side of the street with a humongous great dog. So he went over, he says, he says, does your dog bite? The guy said, no. So he patted the dog on the head, and the dog bit his fingers, and blood was streaming from his fingers. And he said, I thought you said your dog doesn't bite. He said, it's not my dog. You have to be careful about the questions and the answers. And that's what science is about. It's being questioning and skeptical and looking at the evidence carefully and wondering exactly, doubting. And as Bruno once said, or Louis Borges said, that doubt is an indication of intelligence. Argentinian writer. Now, prizes, I've got the Nobel Prize, and kids ask me, how do you get a Nobel Prize? I don't know. The main thing is not to go out for prizes. The thing to do is to go and do the things that you are really interested in. It's not getting a job that you enjoy. I don't enjoy hard work any more than anybody else does. Find something that you are so interested in that you don't feel the time passing. It may be hard work. It's a case of when you do something, never put in a second-rate effort. If you're doing something where second-rate effort satisfies you personally, you're in the wrong field. Do something where only the best you can do satisfies you personally, not some teacher or whatever. And I think that will be the road to success. There was a guy who had about 40-odd holes in one. And the guy came and said, you're lucky. Yeah, he said, yeah, I am. I've got 42 holes in one, actually. I am lucky. But you know what? the harder I practice, the luckier I get. That's the way forward. Okay, you won't get anything without working hard. And prizes are ephemeral. That's not what you should be looking at. I have a favorite part of a film. It's in Junior Bonner, where Steve McQueen and his dad are fighting with the calf. And he was a former rodeo sort of champion. And they're working on this calf, and they get it down. They have to milk it, and then run to the podium with the bottle of milk, right? And the winner is the one who gets there first. So they wrestle it down. And Junior Bonner, who's an aging champion now, is just past it. They got the milk, they've wrestled it down, they've got the bottle of milk, and then he sits up against the cow and drinks it. And his dad says, "Why did you do that? We could have won." He said, "We did, Ace. We did." It's not the prize. It's the fact that they did win that matters. And I love that piece of that film, one of the most important ones. I'm retired from, well, not everything. I'm gone to Florida State, where they're helping me to do my educational program. But I don't have to mark papers anymore, right? If you're a teacher, you have to do a lot of that. And I remember one of my favorite stories is a student came in and said, "Dr. Davis," or whatever, said, "The mark you gave me wasn't fair." And Dr. Davis said, "Yeah, I know, it isn't fair, but 0 is the lowest I'm allowed to give you." Anyway, let's think about this, because you've come here, you've learned, you've got a degree, and people will say, "Oh, you're smart," or this, but you make mistakes. It's true that knowledge does not guarantee good decisions, but common sense suggests that wisdom is an unlikely consequence of ignorance. And I want you to think about that, because it's the way to get around this. If you're told, for instance, the scientific community says there's global warming and this sort of thing, that's not the way to do it. Talk about the evidence for global warming, and then let the person who's skeptical. Skepticism is a very important aspect of being a human being and being understanding of science. They're skeptical. Say, "Well, if there's global warming, maybe the temperature's rising." It is rising. Maybe the sea level's rising. It is. Maybe animals are moving from their habitat. Maybe the glaciers are melting. Maybe the Antarctic and Arctic ices are melting. They are. Just tell them that. That's scientific method. You look at the evidence and say, "This don't look good." We're not fully sure in a 100-year experiment. But that's the way science works. And I think it's not just important to say what science actually does, but how science actually does work. Anyway, finish off. It's not just your day. It's your parents' day. Those people at the back, they've looked after you for a long time. And when you leave here and get a job, hopefully you get, phone home maybe once a week or so, just to tell them how things are going. And maybe they'll pay for your iPhone. You never know. It might be good. But I think it's one other thing. I'll tell you this. The greatest day in your parents' life will be the day they see you have teenagers of your own. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Harry. I'd now like to introduce the University of Central Lancashire Chamber Choir. The members of the University Chamber Choir are all students of music theatre in the School of Art, Design and Performance here, where Mark Goggins is both course leader and choir director. The university is extremely proud of the growing reputation and success of the Chamber Choir. In recent years, the Chamber Choir has won the Good Housekeeping Choir of the Year and the BBC Radio 3 Adult Choir of the Year. The Chamber Choir has a well-established annual tour of the southwest of France, and in 2010 visited Shanghai to sing at the anniversary celebrations of our partner institution, the Shanghai University of International Business and Economics. The Chamber Choir has performed on BBC One, including last year's Preston Passion, on BBC 4 and on BBC Radio 3. The Chamber Choir also sings at many civic events and regularly performs at fundraising and charity concerts, including an annual event at the university involving choirs from local schools and colleges. This morning, the Chamber Choir will sing Jerome Kern's All the Things You Are in an arrangement by Ward Swingle.
Well, here you are. You made it. Look at you now. Poised on the launch pad for you to spread your wings and fly out into the big wide world. Right? And now I think each of you knows how much work you put into it to get to this point right now. And there must have been some pretty tough times along the way. Must have been some pretty low points, right? That you made a decision somehow to pull yourself out of the lowest point and to continue and persevere to get here, right? I mean, that did happen, right? Each of you can probably think of some instances where you were pretty low. Now, I want to take you back to the lowest point in your university career, no matter how low it was. I want to take you back there and remind you of how far you have come. Now, there's a number of ways I can do that. I can go throughout the entire canon of Western literature and philosophy and mythology and find examples of heroes who have triumphed over adversity, right? But I'm not going to do that, because everybody knows that the greatest repository of examples of heroism and triumph over adversity comes from country and Western music. Fact, not natural philosophy, professor. Country. So I've written a country music song for you all, and I'm going to sing it for you. So maestro, if you could give me a note or a combination of any notes, because I can sing them all. Sounds good. Well, my dog ate my homework. I slept through my alarm. My sweetheart done left me and went back to the farm. I'm broke and I'm skint. I got a pain in my arm. But a UCLan degree can't do me no harm. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanking you. It'll be on YouTube in a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, time for you all to really seriously kind of celebrate. So why don't you all stand up? The graduates, I mean. If you can kind of stand up, right? Now here's what I'd like you to do. This is a scientific experiment that we may all survive if we do it right. Can you please take off your hats? Now, on the hand that is not holding the hat, you've got a free thumb. And what I would like for you to do is to kind of just run that thumb along the edge of the hat, right? And think of Oddjob in Goldfinger. And how much damage he was able to do with just one hat. Now, you multiply that by what, we reckon 500 maybe? You ain't got Goldfinger, you've got Game of Thrones, right? You've got Gladiator, 300. Okay, so what I'm going to do is ask you to throw your hat up in the air at the count of 3 and catch it, right? Because this would be fully in keeping with the UCLan mission statement, which does say, well, actually, I don't remember any of the UCLan mission statement. But I know I know that there is a sentence in there that says something like, we will endeavor whenever possible to avoid or to reduce incidents of mass decapitation. Okay? So that's what I'm going to ask you to keep that mission in mind. And meanwhile, those of you in the cheap seats, if you can sort of give us maybe 2 hips and a hooray at the appropriate moments, then, and try it as loud as you can. See if you can maybe raise the roof from the rafters. That'd be preferable. We'd all appreciate it. Okay, so on the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3, hip hip! Hip, hip. Hip, hip. There you go. Congratulations.
So well. Harry, thank you very much indeed. I also want to add my personal congratulations to all the award holders. Well done to all of you. You know, the subject knowledge that you've gained during your time here at the university will serve you well in meeting many of the future challenges that lie ahead. However, all of us here hope that your time at the university has also given you something more. We hope that you've developed a desire for learning and a recognition that learning is a lifetime activity. And in the ever-changing world in which we now live, nobody can expect to acquire sufficient knowledge from just one period of study. So we hope that periodically you will want to return to study, to update your knowledge and your skills, and that you will return to study at this, your own university. We need to thank a number of people for making this morning such a memorable ceremony for all of us. Of course, all the staff of the university have contributed to making today such a success. Thank you to all of you. The University of the Central Lancashire Chamber Choir for singing so splendidly. Thank you to all of you. Well done, it's fantastic. And to the Leyland Band, who are behind me up on the balcony for providing the fanfare of trumpets. Thank you to all of you guys very much. And to our wonderful organist, Edward Ruckman. Thank you, Edward, again for your services. And although many of you may not have seen them, but we have got quite a number of Red Cross people here in attendance, just in case we need them. And again, as always, thank you to you. Okay. And of course, we can't do any of this without the Preston City Council and all of the staff here at the Guildhall for their help and for providing this absolutely wonderful venue. Thank you to all of you. And finally this morning, my thanks to the wonderful interpreters, Kath Moe and to Louise McFarlane. Kath, Louise, thank you very much indeed. And in conclusion, of course, I need to thank all of you for coming and to join us. And we hope you've enjoyed the ceremony just as much as we ourselves have, and that you'll be able to stay for some refreshments at the university when we leave the hall here. And later, as you travel home, we wish you a safe journey. Thank you very much to all of you.
Would you all please stand and join in singing the national anthem? It's our custom, when weather permits, to process from the Guildhall through the city back to the university. The weather is beautiful today, so we'd very much like you all, graduates and guests, to join the procession back to the university's Foster building, where refreshments will be served. Gowns should be worn for the procession, and they can be returned back at the university. So we look forward to meeting you for the procession outside the Tourist Information Office at the front of the building in about 10 minutes' time, about 20 past 12. But if you could please remain seated until the platform party has left the hall. Thank you.